Hello everyone, today I'm going to test this OLED USB 3.0 4-bit meter or voltage meter, and it's for testing USB output from any USB device. And it does have power capacity detection and as well as QC2 capability. Now if you don't know what QC2 is Quick Charge 2.0, and that is the Qualcomm version of quick charging, and I believe it's the only one, but don't quote me on that. Here is a basic overview of all the features right there on the manual, and I'll go through all the actual physical characteristics of the actual device first. So let's start with what it looks like physically, and then move on to its functions, and then do some testing. So here quickly, I'm just going to put the specifications or parameters of the device up on the screen for you to review. I will also put all these specs and functions on the video description below. So if you want to take a look at these or copy them or print them, you can do that by looking at the video description. I also bought this on Amazon, so I will be putting a link to where I bought it on Amazon so that you get the exact same device if you click the link in my video description. So physically, you can see it's a small device with the protective cap on the male end of the USB A connector. You can see it's 64 millimeters. Let's do inches here, or 2.52 inches, and in fractions is 267/128. So 64 millimeters in length. It's quite thin. Let's do the width on that. Approximately 21 millimeters, or 0.849 inches, or 109/128 in fractions. Now last is the thickness, and we'll start on millimeters again. 11 millimeters, inches 0.435, and in fractions and inches 7/16. So quite a compact little unit. I like that about it. Now, I'll zoom in on this a bit so we can look at all the other basic components of it. Well, as you can see, it's in a translucent blue casing, which I find is quite attractive. It's a good looking case, and it's quite tough from what I can tell. And of course, I'm not going to subject it to a lot of stress either. It is plastic. As you can see right through it to the circuitry. So if you want to compare it to others, you get to see if the same circuitry is available. Personally, I'm putting the link to this one on the video description for you, so that there's no mix-up when you buy it, or you're not buying a knockoff or something else. You're getting this one exactly. So look in the video description. I'll show you a link to it on Amazon. I paid $16 for it delivered. So again, looks good. Let's turn it on its side so you can see the circuit board there. You see that it's a double-sided circuit board, and it's got what that means is it's got circuits on both sides. Then we go to the back, and you see the only key on the whole thing that allows you to change every function on it. There's right here that little yellow button. That is a button underneath that sticker. The sticker somewhat protects it, so I'm going to leave the sticker on there. I found the key or the button to be a little hard to press, and you need to be careful not to stress the USB connections on the male and female side when you're doing that, because you can actually break the circuit board if you put enough pressure on those USB connectors. So be careful with that. Let's take the cap off so you can see the male end of the USB connector. There it is. No big deal there. Standard 4-pin USB connector, male connector. And on the other side there's a female connector, and it has your standard 4-pin contacts for a USB female connector. This is USB A, by the way. I'll show you that here, as you can see. And one of the neat things about this end connector here is that it's a dual purpose connector. It actually has 4 contacts for the USB standard connection, and there's 5 small square pads on it, which I believe are the connectors to program and read the actual chip itself, or the actual programming functions on this thing. Now I'm not going to get into that. I don't even know how to access that, but I will show you that this is a dual purpose connector on this end on the next frame. Then we'll go into every function that this unit has. Basically a video review of the manual and all its settings and workings. First, we're going to power up the device, and what you will see in quick succession will be a splash screen, a mode screen, and then we'll go to the primary display screen, which is the default that's shown when you first power it up. So let's do that. Okay, so you saw those two other modes prior to this. Here we have a voltage display here. We also have a wattage display or power display right here, and next to it you'll see a 0, and that is a data set display. Basically there's 9 or 10 data sets on this, and what that means is that you can actually store information from 9 different devices or 10 different devices that you plug into it. So say there's you've got 10 USB devices that you want to monitor how much power each one actually used up. You can change to its data set and store it in that data set, and I'll show you those functions later on, but right now it's just basically a storage function for this thing. Then we'll go down here, and this is the current display. So basically it's written in amps, and it's actually very accurate. I have tested it with my meter. And then we have the capacity display, and that is basically, well, on this setting right here, it's in milliamp hours, but it can be displayed in milliwatt hours as well. There's also an LED on the unit. Let's see if I can actuate that for you. There it is. And it's used for various other functions, which I will show you in the next step. Basically, I'm going to go through the manual and all the directions and modes selections that there are on this unit. For the purpose of this demonstration, mode selection and so on, I put a little piece of 3M double-sided sticky tape. Left the actual backing on it here, and what I put it on the switch itself. As you can see, it gives it a bit of a higher profile, which makes it easier to actually press the button. It also allows me to press the button just by pushing down on top of this unit. So basically I did that because it makes it easier to video. I may leave it on there because it gives it a tactile feel. You can actually feel around the back where that button is without actually having to look at it. So let's plug it in, and we're going to go through the mode selection first, which there are 3, and then we're going to go through the calibration to 0 as well. So we plug it in, and while you plug it in, you got to hold the button down. So I'm going to do that by pressing down on it, and then you see USB connect, USB fast, USB disconnect, and USB 0, and then it goes quickly back into your standard display. Now, here are the 3 modes that are going to be displayed when you hold the button down and power it up. And the 3 modes are quite distinct. You got USB connect, USB fast, and USB disconnect, and those will show in succession when you hold down the power button, and I will show you that. Basically, what these modes are first of all direct mode, which allows you to pass the charge through the cable onto your device and monitor that, as well as pass any data stream from your device to whatever you're hooking it up to. So say you hook up your phone to your laptop, you'll be able to see the files on that device. You'll be able to charge it at the same time as you're looking at those files. So if you want to pass the data through the cable as well as the actual charge, then that's the mode you choose. We have USB fast mode, and that's the quick charge mode. And if you want to use a quick charge charger with a quick charge enabled device, then that's the mode you want to pick. Now, as a caveat to quick charge, both your charger and your device have to be compatible with each other, and both devices have to be able to support the fast charge mode, which is a Qualcomm 2.0 fast charge protocol on this device. So like I said, I will put the specifications in the video description for you. Then there's a USB disconnect, and what disconnected mode means is that your actual USB data will not be passing through the cable. All you're doing is passing a charge to the cable. So say you wanted to hook it up to your laptop, but you don't want say your phone or whatever, you don't want any data passing through, or you don't want your laptop sensing that, hey, you've plugged in your Samsung Note 4 and I'm going to show you what's on it. Well, that's the mode you would pick right there. So those are the 3 modes. I'll show them to you next. I'm going to power it up, holding it down, which holds the button down. In my case, in your case, you'd be pressing the button down to make this happen. So I'm going to press it down and power it up, like so. And you'll see the modes: USB connect, USB fast, USB disconnect, and then 0. I'll show you the 0 mode next after this as well. So in order to pick the modes, what you need to do is actually let go of the button once you get to the mode you want, and then it will select that function. So let's choose the USB connect mode. So again, hold down the button, power it up at the same time, and then when you see the mode that you want, just let go. Okay, there we go. Now I'm on USB connect. And you can verify what mode you're in is just by strictly powering it up without pressing down the button. And right after the splash screen, you will see it. There you go, USB connect, real quick. So let's choose the USB fast next. Again, we're holding the button down and powering it up. Letting go when we get to fast. There we go. And you saw the LED flash for a second telling you that you've actually picked that mode. So let's verify that. USB fast. So next mode is USB disconnect. Same procedure, just let go when you get to disconnect. I'm pressing the button down and powering it up. Connect, fast, disconnect. Okay, so power it up. And it's on disconnect that time. Okay, so that's how you change those modes. There is one more mode, and that's the 0 mode, and it's a calibration function. If you find that you've got your meter or whatever and you're testing it against this device and it's a little off, it actually can be zeroed. And just so this can only be done with no load on this side plugged into it. It must be done with the device unplugged from whatever you're charging. So make sure that it's actually free like this, and all the mode selections should be done like this before you plug anything into it. So let's do the 0 on this. Again, you shouldn't have to do it too often. Just if you notice that it's off or you're testing and your meter shows something different than the actual device does. I tested it and it is bang on with my meter, and I will display that later on when we're testing this device. So let's plug it in again. Again, nothing on the load side. Hold down the button and power it up. And when you get to the 0 mode, then let go there and it will 0 itself. Connect, fast, disconnect, and 0. There. So now that device is now zeroed again. And now we'll go on to the rest of the functions on this unit. You have over voltage and under voltage reminding function, and I'll show you that working, and we'll go from there. Here we have an over voltage situation, and the meter is actually showing us that. It is over 5.3 volts, and as you can see right there, you have a little blinking arrow pointing upwards, showing you that it's over voltage, as opposed to under voltage, which would be the arrow blinking downwards. So as you can see, over 5.3. And it's actually doing what it's supposed to do. So it's nice for testing voltage on any device that you want to plug it into to see whether it's giving you too much or too little. This is plugged into a USB wall charger at this point. So though it's slightly over, it's not enough to concern me. I use it for charging my tablet, and it works just fine. So again, nice feature on it. Next, I'm going to show you the other features that this little USB meter has. Here we have an example of an under voltage situation, and you can see that the down arrow is blinking right beside the voltage display. And basically anytime it goes below 4.7 volts, it will display that you're under voltage. So a nice feature on the meter, and helpful to diagnose if you're having issues with batteries or things you're charging or chargers. Okay, and the next setting will be changing the milliamp hour capacity set. So basically you have two options, milliamp hours or milliwatt hours, depending what you want. And all you need to do to change that setting from milliamp hours to milliwatt hours and vice versa is to hold down the button long enough to see the red LED turn on and then let go. So let's do that. And then when you let go, it says milliwatt hours, as you can see there. We'll do it again. And we're back to milliamp hours. So that's how you change the capacity setting, or what they call the capacity unit switch function. Basically, it changes from milliwatt to milliamp hours. So next, I'm going to show you what they call the capacity stored function, which is this number right here, the 0. Basically, what it does is it allows you to charge up to 10 different devices separately and store the data for each one of those devices separately. So let's say right now on my data set 0, I have I've charged up my device to 2300 milliamps, and I've disconnected it. So now I want to charge up another device, but I want to keep that setting for later on so I can continue charging the other device. So let's just change from this setting to the next data set, which is changing this 0 to a 1, let's say. So basically you just click once quickly. There we go. And now we're on the 1 data set, and as you can see, I already have a stored 1 milliamp hours in there. So again, you have a total of 10 of these. So by clicking once, you get to switch from one data set to the next. And I'll keep doing that here. Again. Pause in between each one, because if you double click, you'll get a separate function, and I'll show you that next. So that's how you go through the data sets. Now, say you wanted to clear a data set, all you got to do is double click here, and you get into the data set, what they call display. What do they call it? Let me see. The data check window is what they call it. And here you'll see that the data set 1, and it's displayed milliamp hours and milliwatt hours at the same time, which is a cool feature or cool function. So at this point, if you wanted to erase this, you just have to hold it down until it erases. There we go. And now the data set 1 is erased. Now if we double click to go back, and it's a quick double click, you see that everything's set to 0 again. So that's how you go through the data set erasing. And let's go back to the data set, so display again, or the data check window. So it's double click. And then we're on number 1. Now this again works the same way as it does on the first screen. You just single click here, and it'll go to the next one, C2, and so on and so forth. So you can cycle through all of them and then erase them at will. So here we have 99 milliwatt hours on 0. So here we're just going to double click, and we're back to data set 1 here. So let's cycle through by clicking single all the way to 0. All right, and then double click to go to the data check window. There we are. And here, if you want to erase it again, just hold it down until it goes to 0. Now, understand, I'm holding it down. You press the button yourself, and it will actually reset it. So there's how you reset that. So let's go back to the display window. Now, the next thing I'm going to show you is how to actually turn off the unit. You can actually power it down and turn it off. So that'll be my next clip. So powering it off is a feature of holding it down, and basically holding down the set switch on the back till the screen shuts off. So I'll just do that right now. So I'm holding it down right now. And you see the LED blinking. And then you let go. So it blinks twice, and you let it go, and it turns off. And then it just keeps blinking with the LED like this. Now, I'm not sure whether it's still actually pushing juice through, so I'm going to check that next. So we're in the power saving mode at this point, as I showed you in the last clip, but notice that it's still actually passing charge through. So I got 5 volts there. So basically what it does is it turns off the actual device itself, but it continues to send a power through the actual device to whatever it is you're charging. So basically, turn it back on, just press the button once, and we're back. But it didn't accumulate anything during that process. So I'm going to try and see if it actually continues to monitor the charge when it's powered off, and I'll get back to you. Okay, I've had it hooked up to a charging device for I don't know, about 5 minutes here. So, and it's been in the power saving mode, so I'm going to turn it on, see if it actually accumulated any data. Yes, it did. I got 4 milliamp hours, 5 milliamp hours. So even though it's in a power saving mode, basically what it's doing is it's actually just turning off the screen. So I'm going to turn it off one more time, come back to it in 5 minutes just to make sure. So I'm holding it down for over 6 seconds and letting it go. So basically let the LED flash once, then come back solid and let go, and then the screen goes into power saving mode. All right, this third time coming back to the power saving mode, which I believe just turns the screen off and continues the device running. Now the nice thing about this feature is that, let's say you're charging your phone on your nightstand and you want to see how much capacity it takes to charge your battery on your phone or your phone. At least you don't have to have this bright OLED display on all night, which could be somewhat distracting. So let's turn it back on again. One click, and yeah, it's obviously still recording the charge as it's up to 10 milliamp hours at this point. So nice feature. Next thing I'm going to show you how to do is how to rotate the screen. You may have it hooked into something and it'll be basically upside down. So let's, for example, you've got it clicked in this way, and you can't move the USB device, and the display is upside down, and that's kind of annoying. So the way to change, to flip it over, is to actually hold it down and power it up at the same time, and I'll show you that next. Okay, here you see the screen is upside down, and for some reason you can't flip it. Or you say you have it plugged into a wall jack or whatever, you can flip the display. So all you need to do is hold it down until the LED lights up, and then let it go. So let's do that. There you go. So you wait until the LED lights up and then turns off. Then you let go of the button and it flips. So I'll show you that again. See, there it is flipped. Do it one more time. Flip it back. Let it go when it's done. There we go. So you have to play with this a little bit to get all the different functions and understand all the different pressing modes or clicking modes to the button to get it to do what you want it to do. But again, it's just practice. You'll get it. You can watch this video over and over again if you wish to reset any of the functions that you want, or to see how I did it. And next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to test and see how accurate the actual outputs are. So we'll go there next. So currently I don't have a load on it, but I don't want a load. I want to see what the output compares like. Here it says 4.975 volts. So I'm going to connect my meter to it. Here's my meter, and see what we get on the meter. And the output is, according to the meter, 4.97. So pretty accurate. It says 4.974. My meter doesn't go down to the fourth digit. So I would say it's bang on for voltage. I'll try the amperage next and see what I get on that. All right, so I got my meter set up, and at this point I'm showing a 0.07 amps, or 70 milliamps is what that adds up to. And I've got my meter hooked up to it through these two test leads, and what I'm getting right now is 73.6. Let me fix that. There we go. 73.5, which is well within the margin of error on that. The current accuracy is 0.08 plus or minus. So if you take 0.08 and multiply it by 0.070, you get 0.56. So you could easily have up to 0.0756. and be within that range. And obviously we're within that range because we're at 0.0735. So well within the range, well within accurate and what is advertised there. So I'm quite happy with the accuracy of the device, and I'm going to use it a lot to test a lot of USB devices that I've got on my roster of USB videos or USB device videos that I want to do, including some charge devices and some USB hubs. That's it for my video. Thank you very much for watching. If you like this video and it helped you out in some way, do me a favor, click on the like button right down here. And you know, if you wish to subscribe to my channel, just click on this link up here. And that should subscribe you to the Richard Lloyd channel, or Richard Lloyd USA channel. Okay, again, thank you very much for your time and watching.